Okay. Let's not beat around the bush here.
Mm-hmm.
What I did last night when we were watching Chopped was impressive. We've not talked about that yet today.
We haven't.
I was saving it for the podcast.
Yeah.
I've not actually told you I've been thinking about it all day.
I had forgotten about it until this moment.
Really?
But now I'm overcome with awe all over again.
What I did last night while watching Chopped,
Was crazy.
let's set the scene here. We're having dinner,
Yeah.
and I was eating kind of quickly because I wanted to play Smash with Jordan after. I was like, I've got shit to do. Let's just put on something in the background as we eat. And we're sitting on the bed watching the projector.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we'll just do a food thing. Let's just watch Chopped. And I have like a screaming headache.
Yes.
My head hurt the whole time, and I don't know why. Just
you
my
were
head.
poorly.
My head was just hurting. And then before they open one of the baskets, I just mumble out some type of fish and a fucking blueberry.
Yeah.
And I got them both right.
You got both of them right. And the thing was that you weren't even watching the show at that point.
No, I was.
You were already setting up your Switch and looking at your Switch, like opening Smash. And the next round starts and you just kind of offhandedly, without even taking your eyes off the Switch, just go, some kind of fish and a fucking blueberry. And they go, black bass or whatever it
and
was.
I go,
and then,
oh.
and then they say
attention.
some vegetable, some other thing. And we're like, oh, okay, pretty impressive. You got one right. And the fourth ingredient was like blueberry alcohol. And you
Yeah,
just
it's just some blue. I know.
What?
I literally rolled off of the bed and
did.
started kind of hitting the wall, being
Screaming.
like, "Oh my
Oh
god!"
my fucking god! I got both of them right. You were like so not fucking paying attention, and it just came to you. It just came to you like a fucking scripture to a prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's never happened to me before. And I've tried to guess the basket ingredients in Chopped for years. And sometimes, I usually am like, something canned, something but just vague, And as a joke, but I was feeling it. I felt it inside me, but I just named two specific things. Some type of fish and a blueberry.
Yes.
And blueberry, not a blueberry.
Yeah.
That was funny. They were like,
One
oh,
single
blueberry. Ted Allen. Is that his name, Ted Allen?
Yes.
Ted.
How could you forget?
I'm always nervous when it comes to names.
Yeah.
Ted Allen
Yeah.
is just like, a blueberry, and they have to incorporate it.
Beautiful.
I'd be the contestant that's like, well, I have to try it. I want to see
Cutting a little portion off with a knife and fork.
a razor thin one, like on the
Like the razor thin bit of bread.
I'm always forgetting where that's from. The Jack and the Beanstalk
Yes.
Disney
Mickey Mouse.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they're cutting that looked so good to me as a kid.
I know. I think we've talked about it before, but we think about it every day is the thing. So you have to expect us to bring it up more than one time that we want to eat the very, very thin bread from Jack and the Beanstalk.
And just put one little bean in it, in the two little translucent pieces of bread. Because it's meant to look like, oh no, they're so poor. But I'm just like, God, I wish that were me.
You know what looked unreasonably delicious to me?
What?
Yesterday at the bowling alley, I went bowling, and yes, my hip does hurt now because I'm 87 years old, I suppose. At the bowling alley, they had these on the screens on the rows that people weren't playing on, which was all of them. We weren't the only people there. They had these like 3D animations of food that had to have been from the early fucking 90s.
The 90s, yeah.
From the early 90s, because they were so bad looking. They looked so budget and so old, of just like a hot dog that had like no texture at all. Like kind of looked like just like a bad video game
thin
graphic.
cylinder, yeah.
Yeah, in a bun. And some chips that were all exactly the same shape and length.
Just scattered among a 3D plate.
It looks so fucking tasty.
Yeah, you kept
And this hot
telling-
dog had like no condiments on it, no mustard, no nothing.
Imagine if you would what just cyber food would look like in 1993.
Oh, it looked so good.
Because that's when those were made, and that's
Yeah.
when the bowling alley was put there probably, and it was cutting edge at the time.
Yeah.
And they looked at it and said, we're good.
That's good. That'll get people to buy it.
But it
and
made
the
you
fucked up thing
hungry.
that it did make me hungry.
Yeah.
Me, a vegetarian of years and years, and a vegan for several of those years. Mm-hmm. I was just like, "Fuck, that looks good,"
kinda
because
want
it
a hot
looked
dog.
it looked nothing like meat. Is
No.
the thing.
I think that's why you wanted it. It looked like
It looked
a
like
soy
it was
dog.
yeah, it looked like it was made out of computer numbers.
It's made out of so many bits.
What TV show was Dot Matrix from?
I have no idea what that is.
It was like this old animated TV show that was like about being in a computer.
Oh, okay.
And it looked like it was from that. She was like green and
I think I remember that. I'm remembering something else that was kind of like it, but it was from the 90s.
Yeah. Anyway, it looked real good.
The point of all this is that when I do have a headache, I am psychic.
Yeah.
When I do have a terrible little migraine, I can predict the future.
Yes.
I feel it inside me. And that was not my first time, but the first time in a while, really tapping into it in an obvious way.
In a visceral way.
I mean, what are the odds of that?
It came to you so easily. You were just a conduit.
Threw it out.
Yeah.
And it was so fun because it was the first thing they named was one of them. So I kind of perked up and was like, holy shit. And then they started naming other things and I just kept watching. And the last thing, blueberry something. And I just fucking lost it.
You did lose it.
It was so fun.
That was the first time that you leapt off of the bed that night.
Oh, God. Okay.
Because there were 2 times that you leapt off of the bed
Yeah, there was
last
another
night.
time. There was the one like just.
So the first time you leapt off in joy. Yeah.
Ecstasy.
Yeah. The second time.
Euphoria.
The second time that you leapt off of the bed. Pure unadulterated fear.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what happened. I had a Band-Aid on my finger for a couple days, right?
Yeah.
Or for at least a day. And I was like, this was for like the smallest little cut. You know, I was mostly just making sure I didn't get blood and food or anything. So I finally took it off. And I didn't throw it away yet. It was just kind of there on the bed. And then just minutes after I had guessed this cool thing on Chopped, I guess it had made its way to like my arm. I guess it was on the bed and my arm touched it. And the Band-Aid was just kind of like hanging off of my arm.
It got like stuck to a hair or something.
Yeah. So when I picked up my arm to do something, I felt something kind of dangling from my arm and I glanced at it and my immediate thought is like, it's a huge spider. So I did a really embarrassing not I wasn't trying to be funny. It wasn't ironic in any way. I was actually just like, and I had to.
You yelled so fucking loudly and jumped up so high and so quick.
Yeah, I threw the switch that was in my hand.
You're holding the switch and you fucking threw it.
I threw it. I don't know why. That wasn't the spider. That was the switch.
And then you kind of sweeped the Band-Aid toward me.
Yeah.
Of all people.
I wish I could even say that I sounded as cool as I did when I just replicated it, but when I actually get scared, I kind of have this like deeper kind of like a that I do. It's kind of
comes from a more guttural place.
It comes from deep inside me.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's just rattling out of my out of my throat. I go and that really is how
caveman yell.
That's my most primal fear.
Always have a big spider on your arm.
Yes, I want to
just suckling on you.
And my only instinct is to kill it with the fire I haven't invented yet.
Your only instinct is to throw it towards the other person in the bed.
I didn't throw it toward you. I threw kind of myself and the switch off the bed.
Yeah, away from it.
So that
you
also. You
yelled so loudly, and then afterwards had to kind of be like, don't say anything about that.
Yeah, I was immediately like, let's not
say anything.
Because
I was laughing so fucking hard.
I immediately stopped and was like, oh, it's a Band-Aid. All right, well, back to business
moving on.
Yeah,
and I was like,
already.
I was like, absolutely not moving on. Absolutely, I'm not letting that go.
I thought for a second, okay, it's not that bad. She isn't even laughing. And then when I turned to you, you were actually laughing so hard I couldn't hear you.
It was just silent.
Yeah, it was just silent wheezing. And I was like, okay. So we definitely are going to acknowledge it then. All right.
Fine.
Look, dinner was good. Can we talk about that? I guess the blueberry shit. Can we talk about that? Yeah, that wasn't fun. That wasn't cool. Hey, welcome to All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
I'm Billy. Welcome to our little podcast.
The poddest little cast of all.
What episode is this?
I don't care.
Oh.
It is 29? I'm 29.
Didn't we do this last week?
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
I think this is 29. If it's 30, I'm going to be like, damn it.
Oh, fuck.
We missed it. We already missed
Shit.
yours.
That's true.
Because you didn't say, hey, I'm that age now.
No.
I'm saying it. I'm that age now. I'm
I
29.
constantly forget what age I am. Oh, huh?
It's coming back. Yeah.
Next episode, I'll be a different age.
Maybe you'll catch up. If we just
I'll
start
go
doing
for-
one every 2 years,
Yeah.
then you can catch up.
Yeah.
No, you'll be 26 next time we do an episode, assuming we do it as late as this one, which is mere hours before it goes up.
Oh, yeah. We love to do that.
We can't get enough of doing that. I love editing quickly and nervously,
Yeah.
racing the clock, really.
Anyway, if anyone wants to send me gifts for my birthday episode, we do have a P.O. box. We don't have a P.O. box.
I have a P.O. box.
You do, but I don't want anyone to send gifts to it.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't want people to send you gifts through the P.O. box either. So, hey, it works out for the both of us.
That's fine.
Episode 29, we have 3 emails to get through.
We do.
And then we got editing to do.
You've got editing to do.
I'm going to make you help me this time.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair division of labor.
What'd you blow on your phone just now?
A hair.
So it wasn't a spider?
Well, are you yelling?
Well, I don't know yet. Tell me if it was a spider.
It wasn't a spider.
Then I'm fine.
It was just a hair. One of your head hairs.
Because you blew it toward me.
It wasn't one of my head hairs because I don't have any.
Oh, yeah, you're bald again.
I'm bald as fuck right now.
You look good.
Yeah, I mean, my hair wasn't long before I cut it,
It
but
was
it's
super short.
it's shaved now.
It was a grown out shave.
Yeah.
And now it's a proper shave. I could see your skull.
See my scars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have a few scars on the side of your head. You want to tell them where that's from? Because it's a pretty funny 2 stories that are exactly the same.
Yeah, your brother asked me yesterday because you were like, oh, you see the scars on the head. He was like, oh, what are they from? And my answer sounded way fucking cooler than it actually is because I was like, oh, they're from bottles. It's like bottles. I was like, yeah, like bottles hit in my head, which makes it sound like I
You got
regularly
in a cool bar fight.
Yeah, I get into fucking brawls, right? And someone bottled me, which sounds hard as shit. But the real reason is both times I was just standing somewhere and a bottle fucking fell out of the sky and hit me on the head, really fucking hard.
And
Both times.
Happened twice.
It happened twice.
So wait, hold on one second. These are glass bottles?
No.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I was imagining them being glass bottles.
No, they're not glass bottles. They were but full up plastic bottles both times.
Just full of piss at a festival. Just full of piss and ketamine at a fucking at some English music festival.
No, I got them when I was like younger than I was in those scenes.
So you were younger and at some type of festival, and a full Mountain Dew comes and scars you for life?
It was a fuck. What was it? It was a Dr. Pepper or a Pepsi.
Huh.
It wasn't a Coke, but it was a cola of some kind.
As soon as it hits your head, you tasted it a little. Oh, that's a DP, baby.
I think it might have been Dr. Pepper. The first time I was at a BMX rally, and
Oh, that's not even a show. I thought you were at a concert.
no,
You were at a BMX rally?
I was at a BMX rally.
That was definitely
like an indoor one.
a Mountain Dew then.
We don't have Mountain Dew in England.
Do you really not?
No, of course
okay.
not. No,
It was a Monster.
it was a cup of tea.
Just a full cup hits you.
It burnt me. No, it was. I was at a BMX rally, and the crowd was getting really fucking rowdy because they were running like 2 hours behind schedule, and to kind of placate the crowd, they started throwing out bottles of Dr. Pepper and Snickers bars, and the crowd.
The perfect diet.
I know. I think they were sponsors or something.
Yeah, they were just like, everyone, you're not you when you're hungry, and starts throwing out Snickers.
calm everyone down. It fucking worked. Everyone's like, oh, I needed that.
Sorry, yeah.
Jesus.
I'm actually super, yeah. It was my blood sugar. It made me a little anxious.
Yeah. But the crowd, in anger, kind of turned on the promoters and started throwing them back, like hard, like with force.
Really?
And the Snickers bars, that don't really matter. It's a Snickers bar.
Yeah, on a hot day. It's just a soft little.
Yeah, but I was kind of near the front, and someone from the back, I guess this is like vaulted seating, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Someone from the back threw a full up Dr. Pepper, and it kind of hit me lid first with like the
Ooh.
corner of the lid, donk, onto my skull.
Was there blood?
Oh, there was so much blood, dude.
I like a good
There
head
was
wound.
everyone was kind of like shouting, and I kind of I went really dizzy. And then kind of touched my face, and I was like, "Oh, my face is wet." And I was like, "Oh, it's covered in blood." I looked down at myself, and like there was blood like covering the whole of my shirt and one leg of my jeans.
Oh, that's a little dramatic.
It was, mate. Head wounds bleed like a lot.
Oh,
and
I know.
And I like turned around to see where it came from, and the crowd just went.
I go, holy shit! Someone get her a Snickers.
And I got taken away, and they kind of tried to. They gave me like a load of signed BMX shit. from like Dave Mirra.
Dave Mirra. Oh, BMX. I was fucking this entire time. This entire time I was imagining like motocross.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
BMX.
BMX, that's much cooler.
That's way cooler. I wouldn't go to a motocross show. No.
Matt Hoffman himself stitched you up.
I believe Matt Hoffman was there.
I believe he was too. It was the perfect era for him to be there.
Yeah.
Was Dave Mirra there?
It was Mirra or Hoffman. I don't remember who signed all the shit, but they gave me a load of...
They refused to be at the same... In that era?
they didn't talk.
Yeah, they refused to... It's this big thing.
Yeah, they gave me like magazines and loads of stickers and like wristbands because it was very wristband time, and I was like sick because I was a little grebe at the time, and I tried really hard to make them to give me a bike.
You're like, I don't know.
I'm still feeling pretty fucking dizzy.
I might be walking home and stumble into a lawyer's office. Yeah.
Get me to bike home instead.
There's a lot less chance that I'll do it if I
get to go home on a
grind all the way home on my new fancy pegs.
Yeah.
Get them to give you a fucking BMX bike. So what would you have done with a BMX bike?
I had a BMX bike.
Yeah, would you do a bunny hop? A little bunny hop? Yeah.
A little stall on a rail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stall.
Yeah. That's about it.
I'd love to see you stall on a rail. With a BMX bike.
Do a wheelie and then go backwards, and then the bike falls on me and I go
it hits you perfectly in the head.
Yeah. You got another scar.
They have to give you several more bikes to make it better. I constantly forget that Dave Mirra is no longer with us.
I know, and it's sad.
So sad. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Was never huge into BMX. I was, I mean, not at all into doing it myself. But, you know, growing up being a little skate rat.
Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, of the people who are big in the BMX world and stuff like that because you're always like watching the X Games and shit.
Yeah.
His story's so sad. And in the realm of video games, though, Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX was like
good.
It's like God tier, the best. It just didn't get better than that.
I never played it.
It's so fucking good. I would even say it shits on Tony Hawk.
Well, Tony Hawk was bad, so there's that. I mean, no.
Okay, let's save that little sound clip. And I'm going to make people think you're talking about Tony Hawk the person.
Himself.
Yeah, Tony Hawk was bad.
No.
He's good now.
Don't let people think that.
You think Tony Hawk Pro Skater's bad?
No, I think it was good for the time, but it's no Skate 3.
Oh, now we're talking about that. Yeah, well, it's no Skater XL. Available currently in the Steam market for only like $16.
in its beta version.
Yeah, it's in what is it called?
Production.
It's like pre-release. What is that called?
That.
Yeah, I guess
that's what it's called.
I love skating games so much.
I know you do.
I really want to play some Skater XL right now.
You almost bought a tech deck the other day.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I almost bought a fingerboard.
Yeah, a fancier tech deck.
Yeah, one made of real wood. But I just the main reason I didn't, I was like, that'll just be so loud. It'll just be so loud. You just hear me in my office going clack, clack, clack on my desk. Yeah. And I'm like, I'd rather just play Skater XL if I want to scratch an itch. But
silently.
Dave Mirra's Freestyle BMX is was such a good game. Super, super good. And much like the Tony Hawk games, had an incredible soundtrack.
Yes.
Really, really, really great soundtrack.
Yes. Tony Hawk games is what made me like AFI, which went on to be one of my favorite bands.
That's very believable.
Yeah.
There's a lot of classic stuff there. We need to get some questions. We're 20 minutes into this.
Oh, we do.
We're 20 minutes into this little guy. You're doing the first one?
Yes. My second head scar. We'll never know how it happened.
Oh yeah. Let's hear that really quick.
No, it's a worse story.
What? Why?
Because it involves me being at Christian camp. but the same thing happened.
Oh, okay. You were just in a crowd. Somebody threw not a glass bottle?
No, a plastic bottle again, but again, full up of...
Stop throwing those.
This one was just water, I think.
It was holy water.
Yeah, they were trying to fucking convert me.
Yeah.
Which was what everyone there was trying to do. So, I was not religious, but I did go to Christian camp because I went to a Catholic school. All my friends were religious. There were bands playing. They were like, yeah, it'll be cool. People won't spend the whole time there trying to fucking convert you.
Just tell me now, was Family Force 5 there?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they were. And I saw them.
I feel like you've told me that before, and I'm like, that's always my response is, holy shit.
Jesus, they were really there? But yes. Yes, of course they were there. Family Force 5, the Christian country rap rock group.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they have to play. They're so niche that anytime there's anything like that happening, they're just like there by default.
Yes. Obviously.
Okay.
I've seen them twice. Once at Christian camp and then once at a metal festival where they had no business being, where I was like, I'm going to go see them anyway.
Seeing Family Force 5 twice live in your life that's just too much for me.
This is the last straw. I was just standing around at Christian camp waiting to go into a show or something, waiting to see a band. And a bottle, again, just comes I was talking to someone and the person I was talking to I saw their eyes go into the sky and go, and then I just feel a book on my head again. And there's another fucking bottle flying out of the sky and hitting me in particular on the head. And I shouted, fuck, really, really loudly. Like I screamed fuck, and I turned around and I was really angry and I was like, who the fuck did that? Come here, I'm gonna fucking kill you, kind of thing. I was screaming. And everyone was just like, don't curse.
Yeah, I'd like that's so
everyone
funny.
just panicking and just being, this is Christian camp, keep your voice down.
It's like, is it really now's the time to lecture me on that
My
when I'm
head's
bleeding out of my head?
But yeah, my head just has its own fucking orbital force to it.
It is perfectly round.
It attracts bottles.
I think
it attracts bottles.
I'm scared now, especially that it's shaved. Yeah. And it is, and I can't stress this enough, a perfect circle.
Oh yeah, it's round.
I think it's just gonna, you want me to throw that direction? I'm gonna throw this bottle that direction and see if there's like a curvature to it. Yeah. It just starts spinning around your head. Its own little gravitational pull.
I can't afford to go to the hospital and get stitches. We just have to staple it up.
That's fine.
Donk. That's fine.
The first email, now that we're over 20 minutes into the episode.
All right. Our first email is pretty much just a big ups to us, but we like to read those because they make us feel good.
So keep sending them.
Yeah, thanks. And it goes, you're in my head. Hey, Billy and Mitch. They did spell my name wrong, but I will forgive them.
Did they? Did they spell it with a Y?
With a Y.
Huh. That's funny.
It just makes me sound like a bully from an 80s movie.
Yeah, hey, bully.
Yeah.
Can't blame them for that, though. I don't think you're ever, like, spelling your
saying
name.
how to spell my name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Billy and Mitch, this isn't really a question, but I thought you should know. I recently went on a road trip with my family, so I had to tune them out on the 14-hour drive home. I was so lucky as to discover your podcast and downloaded all of them. I listened to it for the entire drive and had a swell time. My problem with that is that now the little narrator in my head that thinks my thoughts is just Mitch's voice. This haunts me. That's all. I love the podcast and you're very entertaining. Keep up the good work.
Howdy, howdy.
Yeah.
I love that it's my voice and not the blend of our voices together in perfect harmony. Like if we started talking at the same time. Very good. Okay.
Really
hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of All This.
We do the whole podcast like that. It's really slow. They have to do that thing where you listen to it like on YouTube at like times 3.
Yeah, times 2 speed, and we're just talking normally, but it sounds fucking dreadful.
It sounds like we're possessed by each other.
It's two
which
people
is close
going,
to true.
hello, welcome to our... in perfect harmony.
Sound like a fucked up robot.
I'm flattered that the voice in your head is me as a narrator, and hopefully it's telling you to drink water. Good. And to support me on Patreon. It's patreon.com/ /flat sound. It's very simple to support. You get charged per project now. It's at no risk. I'm not going to do a plug.
God.
I'm not going to do a plug. That's cool, though. I'm glad
great.
they listened to us for 14 hours straight?
Yeah. Which sounds like a kind of torture thing.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Sounds like some kind of Clockwork Orange type shit, but they subjected themselves to it.
Yeah, they held their own eyes open and watched us talk.
Watch the looping footage on YouTube.
as they're on a road trip, so they're getting very nauseous. They're getting so queasy.
The family's so concerned.
So hold on, I'm repositioning.
Wow, you're sitting cute.
Oh, thank you. I'm also dressed cute, and you haven't brought that up. But
I have.
On the show?
No.
So you haven't brought it up.
Well, you're dressed really cute.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my little. My dad calls them capris, and I don't subscribe to that. But they are short.
They are short. They do show off your calves.
My calves and my little anklets.
Yeah. You are also barefoot today, in case anyone was wondering, and I know they were.
How's my foot feel? Is it cold?
Oh, clammy.
I'm feeling a little clammy and cold right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm clammy, like I'm sweating. Mm-hmm. But I'm cold.
But the sweat is cooling you down
too much.
Too much.
It's doing too well of a job. So now I'm just sweaty and cold. It might be anxiety. Who knows? It's always a wild card.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else. Oh yeah, it's like when have you ever like spent all day on a boat?
Yes.
And then you get off of the boat, and then that night in bed, it still kind of feels like you're on the water.
Whoa.
You're kind of whoop.
Yep.
They're experiencing that, but with my voice. That's kind of cool.
Just dizzy and just God, I hope this goes away soon.
Yeah. I don't know. I always kind of enjoyed it. I'd be like, whoa, it still feels like I'm on a boat. But I was a child and wasn't afraid of anything. If that happened to me now, I'd be like, what's wrong?
I don't love it. I don't love it. As someone who had to take many ferries to Ireland, I'm not a big fan.
Have you? Okay.
As someone who gets so travel sick.
What about?
I like for when I get off of the mode of transport to stop feeling travel sick, but it just continues with a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you're right, and I do get a little seasick.
Yes.
Hope this person is getting seasick because of my voice. And I hope me saying that doesn't put the thought in their heads because I'm the one narrating.
This is too powerful. You could do all kinds of like thought suggestions and they'd just think it was themselves.
I'm not gonna. You ever hang out with somebody a whole lot, speak to them a whole lot? It doesn't really happen with you and I because I'm like super used to it. But like, let's say it's like me, you, and Jake hanging out a lot. Me, you, Jake, and Ashley, or you, me, and Alex, and we're all just talking and laughing a whole lot all day, all night. When you go to bed, do you hear that in your head still?
Sometimes.
I definitely do.
Sometimes,
It's stuck in my head. I can still hear us laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm in bed just hugging my pillow. Just, God, I miss it.
Yeah, sometimes I will just be half asleep and just be replaying conversations.
Yeah.
And just laughing at them. Like, not on purpose. It doesn't feel like remembering something. It just feels like
It's
doing
still,
it again in my head. Yeah,
I can't stop it playing in my
it's not
head.
me recalling it and being like, haha, remember that. It's just
Right.
my brain being so tired and being like, have this again.
Right.
Can't think of a new thought right now.
Just playing little sound clips that it's already heard.
Yeah.
But I'm flattered.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
That used to happen to me more than anything with like bad club music.
Really?
Yeah.
You would just hear the...
Yeah, after I'd been out till like 4 a.m. or something, I'd just be on the way home and just like hearing the train tracks and just be like... unbearable.
Well, that, unsurprisingly, was the ketamine. Yeah, that, as a surprise to nobody, was the horse tranquilizer that you took on purpose.
Excuse you, I was exclusively on Red Bull those nights.
Oh, okay. I believe that. Next question.
Yeah. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, I'm pulling out my phone now. And it is called A Shitty Pickle. Sounds very right up our alley.
We're back on our bullshit, everyone.
Dear dumb podcasters, let's get directly down to business. I am writing to you with a pickle. A quite shitty pickle, to say the least. I am on holiday at a friend's house in another country, and here's the thing. The walls are so thin. Like, you can hear every breath a person takes in the next room. And here's another thing. I am abnormally self-conscious of going to the bathroom at normal times. But here, a nightmare. To make matters worse, their toilet is one of those American types where the hole is just small. I don't know what that means. When I was going around Canada a few years back, there were these same types of toilets, and I somehow managed to clog at least 3 in 2 weeks. I don't understand how or why, but it just keeps happening. So here's my pickle. How do I manage this situation? Do I just not shit for 3 weeks? Do I run away as soon as I can? Do I wait until we go to a restaurant and shit there so I don't clog my friend's toilet? I am at a loss and would appreciate your advice and anecdotes about clogging toilets. With appreciation for your podcast, this person's name. Actually, it's signed off this dumb shitter. I think that's a little bit better.
Yeah. I get sign off. Anyway, I do feel their pain about American toilets having the hole where it is just small question mark.
Explain that to me.
It's small.
It's too small?
It's smaller than usual.
Now just the hole in the toilet.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
Yeah.
Is small?
Listen, the whole basin is the wrong shape. It's like your basin is like shallow, almost like it has a flat bottom and then a small hole at the back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ours is more like I'm doing gestures with my hands, but they can't see those. Like a wide
it's
funnel.
not helping me, so that
like a wider bowl shape.
it's just a bowl then.
Yeah. No flat bottom.
Okay.
And no small hole. We got a big hole.
And that makes you feel safe?
Yeah.
So you're not going to clog it. How many toilets have you clogged?
Me?
Yeah.
Not many.
I've clogged some.
Yeah.
But it's always
because they were too small.
Yeah, it's or like I guess just being younger and just not knowing about like what you can put in a toilet, you know? I'll just clog them. But sometimes I would just straight up clog a toilet. I haven't in many years, but oh, man, have you ever clogged a goddamn toilet? Like, have I done that at someone's house? I must have. Like as a child, I have so many I must have just pushed that out of my memory at some point.
But we're about to unearth it, baby.
I just know I have some memory of me as a kid clogging someone else's toilet, and you have to like act quickly because it starts to overflow.
Oh, Jesus.
And you have not flushed your own shit yet.
Oh, God.
So if you don't act quickly, your shit and piss and toilet paper starts coming out and onto their floor. And then you're that person. So I very much understand this person's like, that's scary. That's my worst nightmare.
That's terrifying.
You're just hanging out with some people. You want to be the cool, funny guy. Everyone gets to look at my shit. Everyone gets to, like it's a prize. Everyone has to.
I think that I think I have a theory that European toilets don't clog the same because of the design thing. Because an American toilet kind of drains and then kind of fills up from the bottom again. And that's
Does it?
I don't know. That's what it looks like.
No,
But it
there's
drains
water on the
first.
sides of it that goes down.
But it drains.
It drains.
It's empty for a while.
Kind of pushes.
British toilet never empty.
What?
No,
Really?
no, it doesn't empty out.
It just purifies itself.
It just piles up. It's fucked up, really. It's more of a hole in the floor.
Yeah, you're thinking of a porta potty, actually.
Just lake chemicals on top of it.
I'm curious about this now. Why?
Well, I don't know. Like
It never empties?
No, it doesn't
because
empty out
some of our
first.
toilets, have you experienced an American toilet? Like if you're like when you're out and you use a public toilet,
Yeah.
those puppies will have some force to them. Those will just
Yeah.
go whoosh and shoot the water. It'll really suck the shit right out of your ass. You're not even done yet. And it decides, no, you're done. No, it just flushes really hard.
Yeah,
Have you so
I have noticed that.
your toilets don't flush hard? Well, your toilets, they don't flush. They just
Listen,
the level stays the same and then the shit just goes away? How does that make sense?
Listen, the toilet, the water just goes on top of the old water
Gross.
and it just pushes it down.
Gross.
That's what happens.
It just uses the
almost
gravity and nothing else?
yeah, like if is your
That's
toilet ever
disgusting.
broken and you just like pour a bucket in there?
Yeah, and then you flush.
No, you just pour the bucket into the bottom.
Like the toilet bowl?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, it's like that. It's like if you just poured a bucket.
I guess I just pour it like in the top of the toilet. You know, I pour it there if it's broken, or I have before, so you can flush it, because that's what has to fill up before you can flush it again.
Listen, it would work the same if you just put it into the bowl. That's how European toilets work.
Do you want to go pause and test it right now?
Yeah, kind of.
I think like we'd have to break our toilet for it to work, though.
But anyway, so I've never experienced that kind of thing where it just like rises up. I don't know.
So you've never seen a toilet like that's the bad part about clogging a toilet, is that you try and flush it and the water doesn't go anywhere because it's adding water and it starts to overflow, and then your shit. I've already explained this. It goes everywhere. And it starts to come out, and you go, no. And at this point, you're so desperate, you're using your hands, and you're trying to push it back. You're trying to push it back into the toilet bowl, but it's not working. And people are knocking at the door, and they're saying, Mitch, are you okay? It sounds like you need some help. And I say, no, I'm fine. I'm just taking a shower. And they say, how come you're taking a shower? And I say, just get the fuck out. Just fucking leave already. Which is weird because I'm at a birthday party. You've never experienced that?
No, it never comes out of the toilet. It just kind of, the water gets more, but it doesn't come out. Yeah.
That sentence didn't make sense to me. The water gets more, but it never gets higher up more.
It doesn't go past the rim. It doesn't go past the rim.
Does it get close to the rim? That even sounds gross.
It gets closer, but it doesn't.
When you flush, every time you flush, it goes close to the rim?
No, if it's clogged.
Oh, okay. Okay. Every time you flush, it goes all the way to the rim and stops. And it's like, ew. What if you accidentally flush while you're sitting on it? It just comes up and kisses you.
God, I hate this.
I guess I'll just have to experience a European toilet one day.
Yeah, you have to be there, I guess.
Yeah, I had to be there to understand it.
Yeah, anyway.
To get the joke.
It sympathizes with, the toilets are different. They work different. They look different. The holes are different. Some holes are bigger than others, as Morrissey said.
But you're comfortable using our toilet now. Our toilets in this house.
I've come to be comfortable.
Were you uncomfortable at first?
Maybe. A little bit.
Did you think you'd clog it?
No.
Never?
No.
Confident?
I'm a vegan,
Get out of here. You're going to clog a toilet next week. I can feel it. Tonight you'll clog a toilet.
My diet's clean. It won't happen.
Advice?
I like their suggestion of I wait until we go to a restaurant and shit there so I don't clog my friend's toilet? Because the implication is they're still going to clog a toilet. They're just like, is it better if I clog the restaurant's toilet? Because then like an underpaid employee has to deal with it and not my host family.
It'd be funny if like they're at a restaurant and they're just like, ha ha ha. And then I told them, hey, get out of here. All right, I'm going to go use the restroom. Everyone stay here. And then you see them like walk into the restroom. And then like a couple minutes pass and then just water starts coming out of the door of the restroom. Just water and shit starts seeping out into the restaurant where people are eating. And everyone's like, ugh, they have to close it down.
God.
Okay, here's my honest advice.
Yeah.
I would take my chances only when I had to. Mm-hmm. Thin walls, because I was thinking like, I'll just do it late at night. No, that's the worst time to do it. People are like sleeping. They can hear every little thing that you're up to in there.
Yeah.
Every little creak and crevice. Mm-hmm. Every little movement. Mm-hmm. So probably not that. Just do it like, I don't know what I was going to say. I was like, do it when everyone else is shitting. I was like, that's weird. Someone goes shit.
Do it
like,
when everyone
someone goes to the bathroom and you're like, oh, is it time to go to the bathroom? Nothing weird about this.
Toilet time.
I love this. I love toilet time. I love when you sit down on a toilet and it's warm. And you're like, ah, gross. It's comforting in the worst way.
Horrible.
Have you experienced that? Like when you sit on a toilet and it's warm?
Yeah.
It's funny because it's not bad. It doesn't feel bad, but it's disgusting. It feels quite comforting. But in the worst, most disgusting way.
I wouldn't mind if it was you.
I wouldn't mind if it was you either. But I mean, like when I was younger and
mind if it's one of my family members or one of your family members.
Yes.
I don't mind too much if it's a friend, but
I mind if it's a friend.
That's in the middle for me.
You mind
but a
more
family
if
member or a partner's family member, no.
You mind more if it's a family member than a friend?
I think so.
I mind exactly the same.
I just deeply don't want to think about my family members' bombs.
If Johnny
I have such an aversion
went to go
it.
use the bathroom and I didn't know it, and then I went there after and I sat down, ooh, it's a little warm. I'm just like, yuck. But if Alex did it, you'd be less you'd be like, oh, this is.
I guess I mean a close friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Alex isn't a close friend. Okay. So Alex listens to the show.
I guess I mean a girlfriend.
Okay.
I guess I mean like Matilda in particular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't believe you said Alex wasn't a close friend. Live on the show. He's over there listening. It broke his heart. We just saw him the other day and had a great time.
Alex is a good friend.
We had dinner.
He's a good friend. He's just not a long-term friend. That's what I meant. Yeah.
So we'll know
like
when
a
he
buddy
passes.
from teenage years friend.
We'll know when he passes over that mark if that happens and you're okay with it.
He'll know because I'll go in the bathroom straight after him.
and
that's
for
how
some
he'll
reason
know.
won't use ours.
There's 3 in the house.
You'll choose to use the hallway bathroom and not the one that's right around the corner in our bedroom. At that point, I'd be weirded out. I'd be like, I think you like Alex.
That's how I show that I like someone.
It's to shit after them. No advice, except if you want to go back to our whatever episode and want to start drinking 14 eggs.
Yeah.
That'll stop you up. It'll stop you right up.
We've said this many times. That'll stop you up. I guess the worst thing to do would be to on this 3-week holiday to write into a podcast who are notorious for getting to their emails roughly about 3.5 weeks late.
Yeah.
That'd be the worst thing to do.
Oh, this email's old. I just realized
It's not too old.
Is it not too old?
It's not too old.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the time they hear it, will it be too late?
They might still be there.
They're just sitting there covered in shit while they begrudgingly listen to us riff about it.
They just went out and got a diaper. I was like, God, I hope they respond soon.
Okay, we're like almost out of time. We still have one whole question to get to.
We are. But we can go a little over.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
I'm paying for the extra time on Libsyn.
But not too much extra time.
I want to not pay for the extra time.
Yeah. That would be preferable.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, our last email is from someone who I won't name. It is titled My Artsy Fartsy Pickle. Dear Bitch and Millie, I'm in an artistic conundrum. I write plays and do a bunch of other artsy fartsy things. I moved out of my parents' house last year after graduating undergrad and things started to fall into place. I was working full-time at a really shitty job, but writing plays during my spare time kept me sane. One of my pieces was chosen for a staged reading in a prestigious festival. It was the first time I've had a professional reading of my work. The past 3 months of my life have been dedicated to this piece, rewriting, editing, etc. The hard work paid off, and we had the reading, and it went very well. During this time, however, I got a new job that I'm starting next week. This poses an issue. My writing was heavily influenced by the hatred I had for my work. Writing felt like a solace, my happy place. I've been having some pretty bad writer's block, and I'm afraid if life is balanced with a healthy job, I won't have the drive to write. So far, every piece I've started since this last one has been feeling fake or forced. Is it possible for me to make good art and be happy in life in general? Do I need to feel miserable in the workplace to enjoy writing? How do you move past such a successful project to your next chapter? Love the podcast. I became a Patreon subscriber for Flat Sound after one of the radio shows last week, and I plan to subscribe to Billy next. Thank you.
Whoa.
Thanks for helping me out with my artsy fartsy pickle. Much love, this person.
Ooh. So the question is basically, can you create good art if you're happy?
Yeah. The answer is no. Let's go.
Yeah. And which is perfect because we're out of time.
Goodbye.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course. And in fact, I would say that's the goal. That's the preference. You don't want to remain miserable. You don't want to be stuck there. And in fact, I think, God, I have a lot to say about this, but I think that the common misconception is that, and I know I've talked about this a lot in the past, but like, the misconception is that artists are always sort of stuck in the perpetual state of whatever poem, photograph, or song you just last listened to. And that's who they are forever. And art is cathartic, and art means a lot of different things, and you move past emotions, and art helps you sort of understand things better.
Yeah.
And so no, you shouldn't be unhappy to create good art, sad art even. And then beyond that, you can pull back from many different things that you remember from the past and create art from that. And that's almost how I, at least for many years, preferred to write songs, is that I would like have this very strong emotion or this thing that happened to me or something, and I would wait years, and then I would turn that into a song. I would tell that story in some way, and that's the only way that I felt comfortable doing it, because I felt like I could understand it better at that point. I could really look at it from all angles, and I could come at it from a place that felt realistic instead of just this thing that almost just felt like I was complaining about something, you know? And I think you can create some really good art like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. I think that both me and you, we kind of say that we don't like to necessarily consume happy art. Only because I don't think happy art is useful, obviously. Happy songs are useful.
Right.
Me and you, it's not our preference for
Not mine,
whatever
for
reason.
sure.
But I think that the best art comes out of not necessarily negative emotions, but like complicated emotions.
Right.
You know? So they don't have to just be straight up fucking sad or anything, but I think something a little complex that you're trying to work through in whatever way. A little bit of conflict. If there wasn't any conflict, there'd be nothing to work through, you know?
Right.
But that said, like you said, you can draw upon many, many, many different things for that. I mean, there's always past experiences. I write a lot about past experiences. I think anyone who's had any kind of trauma in the past is always like, oh, no, I'd prefer to be happy now. I got fucking a lot to draw on.
Right.
So I think that the kind of this like trope of the tortured artist is
fake, first of all.
Oh, I think it happens.
Yes, I'd say it happens, and it's happened.
Yeah.
But
and every artist goes through some sadness, obviously, but they're not perpetually like that, you know?
When you weigh the people who at least give this perception that they are like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think is fake.
Yeah.
That's what I think is phony. That's what I think they're selling you something that isn't real, and that is even a little bit harmful to people, because I have fans come to me all the time, or at least this would happen a lot in the past, when people really weren't used to how I would interact with people or what I was like. I mean, now I've had podcasts, and I do radio shows, and I talk to people personally, and I've done that a whole lot now. So I think people are generally pretty used to it. But the general consensus in the past was like, whoa, I didn't expect Mitch from Flat Sound to laugh and to be happy and to tell jokes and I was, oh, that sucks, because that's always who I've been.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Even through the agoraphobia and the very heavy depression and the anxiety and the panic attacks, I always had that. And I feel very grateful for it, because not everybody does. And it's a beautiful coping mechanism. It works very, very well. But don't rob yourself of that because you think that you need to be upset or miserable in order to make good art.
Yeah, you need to have this kind of stoic persona. Something just what smashed outside.
Yeah, it's a raccoon.
Yeah, you don't need to put on this kind of to make yourself feel worse. That's the opposite of what you want art to do. You don't want to make yourself feel worse so that you can make art. You want to make art so that you can feel better, potentially, you know, if that's what you're into. But yeah, I don't think it's not something to aspire to.
Nope.
And there's always, I mean, if you really feel stuck and you're just like, I just need something negative to make some art about, boy, do we live in a society.
Yes. That's actually what I was going to say.
Boy, there's always a lot of shit to to look at.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah,
you don't have work to complain about anymore. Was that the email? Was that they were like what they're like happy with their job now, or they're not at it anymore? They're just happy with it.
They're at a new one.
Okay. Yeah. They're at a new one. They're not miserable anymore. So that was their drive to write. Boy, there's a plethora of things to write about. And without getting too deep or sad, I always I have this acceptance in me that no matter what point you are in your life, there's always this kind of a quiet depression that's kind of there. And the goal for me is to manage it. The goal for me is to keep it at a safe distance and to acknowledge it because there's always something going on. There's always the things that I deal with and the reasons that I go to therapy are mine and they're personal and I'll always write about them. But let's say I woke up tomorrow, the panic disorder was gone. The agoraphobia was just gone. Much like this person's main thing is, okay, so their job, like that's a lot better now. You're good? Now you're good? Nothing else? There's nothing else wrong? That's hard for me to believe. There's always something. What about your relationships with people? Those are vast, complicated things.
Dig into something.
How you feel about getting older, what you want to do with your life, or the direction that it's going, or your relationship with your friends. Is that still fulfilling? Do you want it to get better? What do you aspire for? Are you 100% good right now? And I'm not saying like, haha, gotcha, you're not, so you can write about that. But I'm saying that there's this beautiful, relatable thing about being alive, and that's that nothing is ever fully fucking good.
I like that. Yeah,
and that's, I think, to me, that's what the most beautiful poetry to me is about. The normal shit that's wrong, the quiet depression in the background, the sort of a mundane feeling of being alive and being a person. There's so much to that. There's so many layers to that, and it's not all good. And it's not all traumatic and terrible either.
No.
That middle gray area, that's where a lot of the poetry for me comes from. That's where a lot of the writing comes to me, because that's relatable and that's good, and I'll never stop writing about that.
Yeah.
Even if it is a little bit sad, it's always there, but everybody experiencing that, or most people experiencing that, is what makes, I think, that art so valuable.
I think coming from like a photographic standpoint, especially, or anyone at all interested in like social documentary or social portrayal or anything like that, social justice, etc. A lot of the best work that I see is personal, sure, but a lot of it is communal, not communally made, but it's about communities. It's about some struggle, and like, not to say that even, how do I phrase this? Even if you don't want to make sad art, because there's a lot of struggle out there to be captured, to be understood, to be presented to people in a different way. If you want to make joyful art, I think the best kind of joy and the best kind of hope comes still from overcoming some kind of complexity. Right. So,
it's there.
It's back to that complexity thing again.
Yeah.
There's always stuff. If you don't feel like there's something in yourself that you want to explore right now, there's a world to explore all the time. You live in one, so you can draw inspiration from anything. It doesn't have to be within you. Especially if you're a playwright, you can write about a whole plethora of things. Personally, I like to stick to things that I have some kind of relationship to.
I think that's a little bit important.
Yeah. I think that's the ethical thing to do, is to, not to just be like a fucking trauma tourist.
Right.
But yeah, to something that you are connected to in some way. But there's a lot out there. You will find inspiration from somewhere.
Yeah.
You in yourself do not need to be miserable. You do not need to be... No, we'd all prefer if you weren't miserable, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the overall goal for me, and that's why I'm so happy to be where I am, and I want other people to get there too. You know as well as I do, even like looking through our website, Gentle Earth, you know, people are feeling things all the time and every day.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of those feelings
hard.
are painful in some way, whether it be very obviously painful due to some kind of trauma or very quietly painful due to some other reason. You know, people are always feeling something, and I think that that's not necessarily bad. I think that that's what almost brings us all together. You know, there's always something like that, and that's the most beautiful aspect of art. But not as some type of facade, not as like you're just faking it. I hope that you also see the joy, and that outweighs it.
Yes.
That there's more good, that I'm panicking less in the day than I'm not. You know, that I'm enjoying more things in the day that I'm disliking, and I do, and I'm there, and I'm very, very happy. I've been here for years. It's great. I'm a very, very happy person. That doesn't mean I have nothing to write about. I have tons to write about, and in fact, when I was younger, because Flat Sound is a really great example because I started it when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
So boy howdy, when you're 16, some of the hardest hitting songs that the teens are relating to are the songs about relationships and heartbreak and that typical thing that a lot of people relate to. And I always kind of thought, is that what Flat Sound is? And to an extent, at the time, it was. I was a teenager, you know? That's most of what I was feeling that was worth writing about. But as I got older and I started having these, suddenly the relationships were very healthy.
Yeah.
And I was very fulfilled in them. And I learned to cope with those, emotions and the, feeling insecure and the all of these things that, you sort of deal with when you're in an early relationship. So now, my last handful of relationships have been pretty great. So there's nothing really there to like write about, at least very often. When you're a teen, it's all you think about. And now as an adult, it's like, well, now what? And the answer to that is, well, now what? There's the rest of the world. There's the rest of the being an adult. There's the rest of the stress that comes along with that. There's your relationship with your family and being an uncle and still having a therapist and doing all these things and trying to navigate the world coming out of agoraphobia. And there's so much there. And again, it's quiet and it's in the background, but it's there and it's worth writing about.
Yeah.
But the goal is for it to kind of be there and in the background and be the thing that ties us all together. But I want people and artists to be happy in their life. And there's nothing wrong with that. It does not mean you have nothing to write about. And it doesn't mean that you can't create good art. I think I think the best art that I'm creating, that I've created and continue to create, is more accessible to more people because it's not just, me as a teen talking to other teens. It's me as a person talking to everybody. When it comes to this quiet struggle,
Yeah.
And it's not as dramatic and it's not as loud and it's not, but it's there and it's extremely valid and I think that's beautiful. And I'm a very happy person who makes very, very sad art.
Yes.
And I think that's how I do it.
Yeah. I can't say whether my art is overtly sad. I certainly don't think it's happy.
It's not happy, that's for sure.
It's not sad in the same way because there aren't words to it, so it's not like people go, oof, I felt. They do feel it, but they're not they can't grasp onto that relatableness as easily,
right?
I guess. But yeah, no, I'm still a very happy person, but I very much enjoy exploring the subtleties of things, diving into stuff that's a little more complex.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's a completely different thing when it comes to photography and stuff because the complexity of your work, it dives into like people's lives and politics even, and that's what's it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And yeah, I see you as being a happy person. I see you also when you're not happy.
Yes.
We see each other that way, but most of the time we're great.
Yeah.
We could go and interact with people and stuff. I think that that's the dream. That's where I want to stay. Mm-hmm. Create good, beautiful, relatable art. There's always something to write about. Nothing is ever totally fucking fine, right?
Also, I work a lot better when I'm not in a horrible pit of depression.
That's the other thing I was going to say, and I almost forgot about it.
Yeah, I am. I see, when I'm feeling very, very fucking bad, I might get some initial, I don't know, I might get some sparks, I might get some ideas, but the chance that I will follow through on them and actually make them into art is fucking slim.
Because art is very difficult.
Yeah.
Art is strenuous and very hard, and you have to like, when you're really fucking depressed and you're really feeling, or like my panic disorder is just really fucking kicking that month or something. It's hard to get out of bed.
Yeah.
I can't shower. I can't. It's
hard to eat.
It's really hard to eat. It's hard to have a meal. So I'm supposed to relentlessly grind and chip away at something for 16 hours? Fuck that. I can't even clean my room, you know? People, they really look at Flat Sound as this thing that, like, you know, the most emotional songs were created when I was just trembling and in the middle of a panic attack, and I was just, it's just the most honest thing that I've ever done. It's honest because I'm pulling it from personal experience, but I had to have been feeling great that day to even want to record that fucking song because I know that as soon as I start, it's going to be like 30 hours of work until I'm even at like a place where I can show another person. And it's hard.
Yeah.
Artists work endlessly on their work, and it's not always something that they can accomplish when they're feeling that low. I think you will create better art if you work on yourself a little bit and you are happier. And then you can take and pull from those experiences that you experienced when you were that low and create some really honest, good art.
Yeah. You know what's a good example of that happened this week of people perceiving the artist as something that they're not in that state?
What?
It was someone tweeted about you, I think, and was like, "Oh, I just want to be Mitch's sad girlfriend, and I want to just wrap him up in a blanket and tell him
I get a lot of those.
Okay." And I was like, he's fine.
Yeah.
Also, I'm his girlfriend.
Yeah, also
so
go
back
away.
Off. It's like, first of all, bitch.
The people, it's not to call out that one person in particular in case that they're listening. Just know that I get that a lot. I get it a lot. It's not just this one person. And if it really, really bothered me, and sometimes it does, sometimes a person will cross a line and I will have to be like, hey, don't do that. I read that shit all the time. And it's you just have to learn to laugh at it. But it is a little discouraging that these people are seeing me as this kind of like, oh, who hurt him? Oh, I just want to wrap him up in a little blanket. Who hurt this boy? I just want to protect him because of blah, blah. It's like, whatever song you're fucking listening to, I'm over it now.
Yeah.
It's, which brings me back to what I said before. People sort of have this perception that the artist is in this perpetual state of the last song that they heard, So I've had people listen to songs off of like I Clung to You. This is 2010 album.
Yeah.
And just be like, man, I just wanted to tell you, I'm so sorry.
You'll get through it.
You'll get, and I was like, I'm almost 30, dude. That's like,
I got through it.
Yeah. By the time that song was released, by the time the album was released, I'm good. You gotta know that I'm fucking good. Like, you don't look at, that's fucking, I've used this example before, but that's like seeing a picture of me in middle school when I had a cast and I broke my arm and just being like, dude, I'm so sorry. You're going to get through this, like, as me as an adult now. And I'm just like,
okay.
I did.
Yeah.
You see, that's a picture. I can't believe I explained to you how time works. It's linear, first of all. So that was then, and here we are now.
In the present day.
So there was, all these things happened in between. My God, I can't believe I'd explained this to people. People do have this weird perception of art. And for the people listening to this and still have not tuned out, don't be one of them. View art realistically, and you'll have a much better chance at creating it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But you got to be realistic.
A more honest kind of thing. Yeah.
You're going to create beautiful, honest art, but you don't have to play that phony role of being always depressed and always this or that. And if you are, I encourage you to seek help. But the biggest takeaway or the answer to this is no, of course, you can create good art.
Yes.
If you love your job. I love my job.
Yeah.
My job is creating art.
Your job is creating art. Yeah, no, you're gonna make good things, and you'll have more energy to devote to making good things now that you don't have to waste it on worrying about your old shitty job.
Yeah. Ooh, isn't that a good thing? Hey, you better your life, and now you're making even better art because you have the energy and you have the. You better yourself. You better yourself as an artist, even.
Yeah.
You better yourself. How am I going to say that? You better yourself. You better your art.
Yes. Me and Mitch are big advocates of
bettering yourself,
feeling better and being better.
Yeah.
Trying to.
I'm not into this, and we're not going to get into it, but that tweet we saw right before we started recording, that it was like, mental health Twitter, where you sitting? And it's just a bunch of like, I listen to Brockhampton and hate myself, and I listen to Beyonce and I take lithium, and there was like one little table that was like healthy coping mechanisms, and everything else was just like hating myself and taking it out on my mom, just weird shit like that.
Don't be proud of that.
Don't be proud of that. What the fuck do you have against working on yourself?
Work on it.
Just work on yourself, dude. That's the correct answer. Why? And this is like. It takes me way back to Tumblr when it was the cool thing to just be like, haha, I'm so broken. It's like, that's not cute. Work on yourself.
Like, we all are, but like, wouldn't you like to not be so much?
Couldn't just imagine this, guys. Imagine this. So many fucking people out there are broken. And you're probably one of them. Be the person that works on themselves. I promise you, I swear to God, it's worth it. It will always, always, always be worth it, and the every step that you take toward that is worth it, and it's good, and it'll put you way far ahead of these other people who think it's cute to like.
You won't become boring. You won't become a normie. In fact, you'll become a more complex person because you will have both been through that and then tried to do something about it.
Take the first steps
what is in your means
and do the cool things, and don't just be one of these people who like. Your only way of dealing with the problem that you acknowledge that you have is to turn it into a meme. Go beyond that. Okay, laugh at it. Okay.
Yeah.
But now that you've acknowledged you have it, what are you doing about it? I encourage you to do something. Because life gets so much better when you do.
Yes.
And you get to still create good art.
Yeah. Always.
We gotta go.
We do have to go, but oh God, we have to go. We talked about that for so long, but we like talking about it. We talk about it in our own private conversations.
Oh, we do a lot, all the time.
Something that we think about a lot as artists and as people with mental health issues, and it's good.
Thank you guys so much for listening. You're listening to All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
I'm Billy. I continue to be Billy. If you want to write us a question, shout us out, give us a little pickle to answer on the show, you can write us at our email, which is
allthespaceinbetween@gmail.com. And if you would like to visit our very own website, a place where we post every single episode and includes links to everywhere else you can listen to those episodes, including Apple Music and Spotify and Google Podcasts is a thing.
Yes.
You can go to
allthespaceinbetween.com and check out our shiny new description if you haven't already.
Yeah, it's true. We do have one.
We wrote one.
We did.
We updated it finally, everyone.
Almost admitted that we were an advice podcast, but then you were a coward and didn't quite say the words.
A little bit.
Yeah. I know we got a little serious there at the end, but I hope you guys enjoyed listening all the same. We meant everything that we said. We do care about the people that are listening, and we will talk to you sometime next week. We'll talk to you on a Sunday night, Monday morning.
Yeah,
next week. This is a
exactly when this goes.
This is a weekly podcast, and I have to start mixing it right now. But have a beautiful week. We will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.